The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Victory Monday! You're looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, where the Christmas Spectacular has started taking place. And it is a brisk 51 degrees. The high today is 53. The low tonight is 31. And
it's a good catch. He's Shannon. That's Nate. Oh. He's Shannon. That's Nate. This is Kurt. In the back, we got my boy Chris Beam. I am Jesse Holley. Together, we makes Hanging with the Boys. The Sports Talk Cleveland Braille. People feel us when we speak.
And each and every show is brought to you by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Your boy got some more this week. It's weird today because the game was Thursday, and it seems like a lot has happened. So it's almost like you want to skip talking about the game and just talk about the game that happened last night because Philly just keeps finding a way to win.
Double birds.
Just
give us double birds every time we turn.
Right when you think you're going to get a break, you don't. So should we start with the rumor? Is it a rumor? Is it confirmed?
What's that?
About the visit tomorrow?
Oh, he's coming.
Confirmed.
Yeah, he's coming.
He's coming?
That's what she said.
Well, before we get to that, how was y'all's Thanksgiving? Jesse,
Good.
how was yours? Good.
Mine was good. I mean, food.
Lots of
Like food.
Yeah. Kurt, full house?
Very nice. Yeah, everybody home. It's
Yeah.
fun to see everybody. Had a beautiful weather, nice weekend. Yeah, it was a good time.
Nate?
Yeah, your mama fixed me what I needed. I'm good.
Yeah, Mom fixed cinnamon rolls for everybody.
I'm
so
good.
Make sure we clarify that.
OD on
Nate just leaves stuff to be out there just
Stop,
for just.
Jesse. See,
just gotta
Jesse
make
ain't gonna
sure-
let-
No, we gotta clarify what you mean when you say, "Yeah, your mom's fixing like you," because you can't.
I
ask,
knew what he meant, Jesse.
but you can't. They don't know.
Hold on.
The
Is
fans
this
don't
the
know.
guy that want pictures from a guy from across the seas and
Harass
try
that
to
poor
take
lady
another
and her
man?
I'll tell you something.
Right.
I don't want pictures of him. I want pictures of
That's
her.
what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then you
Absolutely.
gonna try to take this man, woman right here.
I wasn't trying to take
Come
that
to find out he a CEO or
for
something.
real. He got way more money than I got.
Like he was telling you, no, it ain't my looks that got it. It's the ability to take care of her.
I see why she pumped out 3.
Yeah,
When
right,
When
quick
we found out who he was, I
Right.
see why she was like, "You want more?"
I'm good.
Chris, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was great, thanks.
You're welcome. Is Jazz back there?
Jazz is back here. So is Willie.
How were their Thanksgivings?
Jazz, how's your Thanksgiving? She
I
worked.
worked.
Okay, so
Like the
good.
rest
Still
of us.
gainfully employed, making money, so that's good.
How about you?
You want to know about Willie's?
Yes,
Thanksgiving?
I do.
Willie, how was your Thanksgiving?
At the stadium.
He's at the
Worked.
stadium. He worked.
Oh.
He ate good though.
Oh yeah, that stadium food ain't no joke.
Man, I can't wait to show over
think
with so I
we'll-
can go home and eat my cinnamon
I
bun.
think Will got a to-go box at the stadium.
You
just letting
think?
y'all know.
I don't doubt that one bit.
Jesse, tell us about the game real quick so we can go.
We didn't hear about how Shannon's was.
Oh, that's right.
That was good.
Did you see the
Shit,
doctor?
how was your Thanksgiving?
I haven't. I got 3 days left? 4 days left before I make my appointment. Mine
on,
was
man.
good. Mom cooked a lot of food. Got to spend some time with the little one. The baby mama came over and we hung out all day. No fights. So
No, that it's always
Everything
usually
was
when the brothers do it. It's like the baby's daddy. I give the white guys his baby's mama.
we ate good. It was good. I'm still full from the weekend. So thanks for asking. Okay, football. Stop, Jess. Shaq Leonard. He's coming tomorrow, right? To the Star.
Yes.
He
To work.
is.
To visit. To work out.
Yes.
What does that mean? Does that mean
See the missing piece?
No. If this was Shaq Leonard 3-4 years ago, then I'm like, oh, he's the missing piece.
He'd
Would-
still be on Indianapolis.
You're right, exactly. He would still be on the field. I think bringing Shaq Leonard here, if it all works out, I think it gives you depth at a position where you severely lack real linebacker depth. I get the Marquise Bell experience, and I'm happy for Marquise Bell that he's playing well. For me, I just can't buy that long term. I can't buy that. That's not playoff football. That's not when you get down to the nitty gritty, and you're starting to even see it a little bit now where teams are like, we're going to just go at him. We're going to go at him and see if he can't do this repeatedly. I think bringing in a guy like Shaq Leonard gives you just a little bit more comfort in knowing, okay, we can start out with Marquise Bell, and maybe we have a little Rashad Evans, but we have this insurance policy with a guy like Shaq Leonard. So he's not the missing piece, but he definitely brings depth to a much needed area.
So by him clearing waivers, that means that is full on his contract. The Colts got to pay him fully on the last bit of guaranteed money.
So everything going forward now is kind of prorated.
Okay.
So if they signed him, they're on the hook for whatever they agree. Like if they agree for a 1-year deal, that's it. They're not hooked into the 2 extra years they had or whatever,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of resets. They pay him that, and then you pay him going forward. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Yeah. So it would be something that we would, as Cowboy fans, would definitely take that.
Now,
If he ain't starting by week 3, we don't need him.
Week 3.
Yeah, if they sign this dude and he ain't starting by week 3, no.
You might need him the week after against Philly.
Bro.
Which the Eagles are supposed to be in the do you grab him just so the Eagles don't?
You know what?
They're probably playing off each other, right? And he's probably loving it.
I've always talked about like this feel good for a guy who's never, like Shaq Leonard never been courted before, right? He was drafted to the Colts. He's been with the Colts. He's never had a chance to go be courted. So sometimes guys like that ability to see like, oh, what does he say? What does he say? What do they say? What do they say? Now, he does have former teammates, and Malik Hooker and Stephon Gilmore played with him at the Colts, so maybe we have an in there. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's any connection with him in Philadelphia, but I mean, Howie in that front office has been doing a tremendous job with signing guys and getting guys. Now, part of the reason that Shaq Leonard is even available, I mean, of course, it's. They had a new defensive coordinator come there. He was hurt. They fell in love with another guy. He was voicing his disapproval of the lack of playing time. But he also is a guy who's had some major injuries as well. He's had some back issues that's kind of nerve endings that leg down to the legs, and it was some so. I mean, bringing this guy in, you're hoping that the medicals absolutely are what they're supposed to be, but this isn't a guy that's just coming in that's just 100% healthy and, without any flaws or blemishes on his body. So bringing him in, understanding that this may be a guy who, you're already dealing with one. You already dealt with one linebacker with a neck injury. Damone Clark already had his neck fused together, and so you just got to just be careful all the guys that you're bringing in, because you bring a guy in, and all of a sudden now he's back on the IR. It does you no good. So sometimes you might want to say, you know what? Have at it, Philly. You waste your money and your time and your talent, and hopefully it doesn't work out. But
then he comes and plays us in a few weeks and gets 3 sacks and 15 tackles. And it was weird. He was actually at the Colts game in a suite.
I'm sure it's a suite he already had paid for.
Yeah, so he's
already
won his last farewell.
I might as well use it.
I want to go see that farewell video that they made for me, so I'll go to the game. Why not? Food's already paid for. Let's do it. So, all right, let's get into the game a little bit. Let's talk about it for 6 minutes. Rest of the first segment. What'd you think? Wound up being a blowout. Was kind of close. Starting out, looked like it might be one of those. It's kind of boring a little bit to me to watch, but they grounded out.
Kept it in. Kept it
going, and then blew them out in the fourth quarter. What'd you take from it, Nate? Did what you needed to do?
Yeah, they just did what they needed to do, and I mean,
you sound real impressed.
Go ahead. Just eat, bro.
This is the third game of the 6 game. This is the third game of the 6 game thing that, and they need to just continue to win, because we got 3 more games, before we even think about losing one. So, hey, coming to this other team that's real physical, so I'm good. But I just want to hit Jesse part so we can close this show down and go on and get our cinnamon rolls.
Kurt, what did you think about the game?
Well, it was good. Like you said, they took care of business. Again, through this whole stretch, it's like, you're beating up really bad teams. Carolina's just went nuclear with their whole staff out there.
I'm so happy for that. I am so happy for that.
Washington just fired their defensive coordinator.
And it should have got Mr. Smart Eric Bieniemy too. Should have got him too. Should have got them all.
So it makes you it makes you wonder, how good are they? Because these teams are so bad, but like you said, they're taking care of business. They're doing what they need to do.
Because in past years, you've seen them go on streaks, and they'll have a bump in the road or a hiccup, but they're blowing these teams out. So I mean, it's like you never. When are they going to be good enough to be like, okay, I'm buying in? Like, how many of these next 4 games do you have to? How many of those do you have to win for you to be like, all right, I believe, like this is for real.
Yeah.
Jesse, what did you take from it? Anything surprise you?
DaRon Bland. No.
Yeah, how about that?
Nothing surprised me, and what I like about what the Cowboys are doing in these stretch of games, when you date back to Giants and then the Panthers and now the Commanders, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Like I don't want to get into the argument with people of, whoa, they're only beating this. And this is who they're on the schedule.
Yeah,
like I don't know what. Like this is who is on the schedule. If one of these teams would have beat the Cowboys, then you would have
went nuclear.
To holy hell. But they've blown these teams out. Right. It has not even been close. At no point in time, even in that game, the Commanders game, did you feel like the game was out of control or the Cowboys weren't in complete control of that game. This is what you're supposed to do to bad football teams. You're supposed to absolutely whoop their tails from start to finish. And for the most part, in these last 3 games against teams that are inferior to the Cowboys, they did exactly just that. And they got better in areas where they needed to get better in. We saw the running game improve. We saw some other guys even, flash in these games that we haven't seen flash in a couple games. Mozzie Smith, and I'm talking about over the 3 games period. Mozzie Smith had flashed some in these games. You've seen the running game kind of find its footing a little bit in these games. You got a chance to see Tony Pollard in pass pro these last couple of games. It's been really good for Tony Pollard. Michael Gallup is sprinkled in here and there. I mean, you've seen a bit of everything over the last couple of games. We jokingly called them the get right games or the prescription games or the pharmacy games, and the Cowboys use these games for exactly that. Dak has kept his heater on. Other guys have continued to build. We've seen the numbers come down a little bit with CeeDee Lamb, but the rest of the guys, the numbers are kind of going up. This last game, he had 10 different.
Yeah. It's amazing. 10
different receivers catch a pass. Talk about distribution in this offense. 10 different receivers catch a pass. The other game that was 6 touchdowns by 5 different people. I mean, this is kind of the certain things that you want to see. We ain't talking about the red zone no more, right? Those comments aren't happening anymore because you get into these games right here and you're able to get some things going. So, like all the conversations that we had earlier in the first part of the season, we're not having those. The red zone's not a conversation anymore. The offensive firepower not a conversation anymore.
Brandon Cook's in it.
That's not a the running. All the things that we talked about was an issue or a problem.
Not problems anymore.
Not problems anymore.
But will they continue that?
We don't know.
I was surprised how much they were going downfield with the ball. I mean, they threw it deep several times. Are we going to see that same aggressiveness now with Seattle and then with Philly? That's the question. All right. I hope so.
Explain, Jesse.
Hey,
man, this game is so far behind me. I'm just like, I'm pinning solely on you. I have more problems with the coaches than I do the players of the teams we have just played. Because when I was watching the film and I'm watching the game, I'm saying to myself, as smart as Coach Bieniemy is, as smart as this guy is, he's going to give the game eventually to the Cowboys because he's not going to stop passing. And eventually, this thing going to crack. And I thought it would crack in the third quarter, but it cracked in the fourth quarter, along with Bland doing what he did. I'm saying to myself, then with 5 minutes left in the game, they start running the ball back to back to back to back. to me, that was a slap in the face. If you really wanted to just show us how brilliant you was, you just kept right on throwing the ball. And you literally got a quarterback beat up, which they did a great job in the first half. When we wasn't getting to him as much as I thought we would have, that kind of was disappointing. But in the second half, he started feeling the pressure. And that running back, Robinson, with the right offensive coordinator, he could be something special. I know he can. But I don't know what Coach Ben is going to do. And I love him and know him a little bit personally, but, man, I just didn't like how he handled this kid, just like I didn't like how the Panthers coach handled their kid. You just don't do that to a kid, not if he's your future.
I don't cheer for games much other than the playoffs, and I get a little wound up for playoff games. But I was cheering for DaRon Bland to not get tackled.
Oh yeah,
like because he got bunched up there on the 10, and I was really. And then did you see how excited the whole sideline was?
Yeah.
I thought Coach Quinn was going to fall out of the coaching booth. He was so excited.
Even listening to like when you heard Brad Sham and when you heard was it Jim Nantz that was doing whoever was doing the game.
Yeah,
and it was like even they both were like, oh, he has it. Okay, he has it. Because they didn't know, like, because you saw the interception, you thought nobody was in front of him. Then you go like, oh, snap, there's 3 guys over there. And he makes 1 miss, and he makes 2 misses.
Would you rather be the quarterback who I shook or the 2 wide receivers? Because you're going to be in history forever. So would you rather be the quarterback I shook?
I want to be the quarterback. He's not the guy that's supposed to have the athleticism to be able to break it down.
Dotson wanted no part of that tackle.
Oh, that was too funny with the 2 wide receivers. I say, y'all know y'all just until somebody else break this record, y'all in history, right in the Hall of Fame.
That was a cool thing to watch.
Daddy, that's you.
Right there by the ball in the Hall of Fame. Picture right there. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, more football on Hangin' with the Boys.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole made with real Hass avocados will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouth-watering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com. And thanks, Mom, for providing diabetes for everyone here on the show. So
at least I go out happy.
Yeah. Go out with a smile. Yeah. All right. What else do we want to talk about? Let's talk about Dak a little bit. He is that seam route over the middle to Ferguson was the route. Yeah, like he hit Cooks with that in stride. We talked about that last week or the week before. The placement, like I don't remember him. Maybe he's thrown that before, but I don't remember him until this year having that in his bag of tools. Like
it's called dudes willing to catch it.
Definitely looks better.
And this, I'm so glad you're here, brother Jesse. To me, sometimes that looks like a difficult catch. What's the difficult? 1 to 10. What's the difficulty of degree?
Because they dropped that the first
few times.
Yeah. Was it Shoemaker that dropped it? And you were like,
Ferguson dropped one too.
And you were like, you got to catch that ball. That's a catchable ball.
The catch isn't difficult.
Okay.
It's You'll hear Michael ever talk about this a lot of times and go, how many steps before that safety gets here?
Yes.
That's the part that's difficult. I can make the catch. Do I have 1, 2 get down before the safety gets here? Most people are worried about the safety coming to lay that smack on, whether it's, in the back or in the side, the back of the head or lower the leg. That's the difficult part. It's not the catch is not difficult because if the defender's looking at you, he can't see the ball coming. Your thought process now is how long before I know there's a safety coming back somewhere from behind. How long before he gets here? And that kind of gives you it kind of almost makes you alligator arm in a little bit, but when I'm bringing it in, and Ferg should have had the second one, but what came? The hit.
Yeah.
And the hit from the defender, and then he hit the ground, and the ball came out. But that's a pass that it's coached, it's taught, it's practiced. That thing is coming either right over the top of the helmet or right past the ear hole. Like you want it to come there. It's almost your target of where I'm looking at. If I'm the quarterback, I'm coming right over the side of that helmet because he's never going. Because even when he reaches his hands up, it's still going to come right over the top of that helmet, so I can make that grab right there. It's mostly the hit that comes along with it a lot of times that you fear.
Does it look different this year? Is he mastering? Like it's almost, and I don't know if it's just. I mean, this is the debate forever. Beginning of the season, get rid of Dak, fire Dak. He's trash. He's never going to get us to a Super Bowl. And now it's like you look at the last 5 games. 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. And it's like, and he's controlling the game. Like it seems like he's making the right calls. He's running when he needs to run. He's, it's like are him and Coach McCarthy finally clicking? Is it because the offensive line is playing better and they're healthy? Or is it all kind of the whole working together?
I would say it's all working. You need all the parts to work together, right? And it starts in the trenches, and they can tell you about that. But I think what you also realize is that you see more motion than you've ever seen, ever, in a Dak Prescott career, ever.
And that's something everybody griped about when Kellen was here, right?
The motion, because what the motion does is it gives me a clearer picture. It lets me know right now, man zone. Right? Once I figure out man zone, okay, cool. Process of elimination. Now I start looking at where are these guys going? And all this is happening in nanoseconds. But I get a clear picture of what we have from just simply motioning. Whether that's we call it a zig, or zag, or zen, ZN, or whatever the motion is. Come across the ball, don't come across the ball, come in, come back out. Zone, man, okay, cool. Now I start to go into my teaching, right? It's second down, okay. Through my study this week on second down, when they ran the zone, they ran, 79% of the time they ran this type of zone. Here are the plays that were, what I'm saying? In this play, I'm going right here, right now. On top of that, what has teams done this year across the league? They play more too high show, right? So we're not giving any plays up down the sidelines in this defense. Too high show. Well, when you go too high show, what's open? The middle of the football field. Mm-hmm. So now that's when you start tagging them seams. You start tagging them over routes. You hit them in, the dig routes, the daggers, the over routes, the seams, all those little things, the shallow crosses, all those little things that now, because everyone's going out, I can't give up the big play to the outside. So I'm giving up the opportunity to get down the middle of the football field. And so you saw that now becoming a part of what they're doing. They're attacking the middle of the football field. They're making these plays. And what's going to eventually happen, or you hope to happen, is teams that are doing too high show, they're a little bit hesitant now to just take off outside. They'll hang in a little bit. And I just need a step or two. I just need a step or two of me eyeing you down the middle of the field and you staying on that hash to not deliver it outside. I deliver it to CeeDee Lamb. I deliver it to Brandon Cooks. I deliver it to whoever that player may be. So it's a culmination of all these things working together. The offensive line being healthy and being able to protect, Dak and Coach McCarthy being on the same page. Coach McCarthy calling the plays that are opening this thing up. Dak being able to see it, deliver it, and then the guys on the other end making the plays.
Go ahead.
Well, one thing I wondered too, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion, was this. I didn't realize this. This is the first time since 2019 he's played in each of the first 11 games. So he's been healthy. I mean, in 2020, fractured his ankle, he's out. He was in MVP conversation then. Next year in 2021, he had the calf strain, he missed a game, and then just never was quite. It took him a while to get going. And then last year, thumb, he was out. So is some of this not only just his kind of maturity level growing as a quarterback, but also just simply he's healthy. We're seeing a Dak that maybe we would have already seen if he had remained healthy during that time.
It's a good question. I mean, health is always important in this league. And anytime you're healthy, you get some of the best brand of football. And you're talking about dealing with the thumb, a calf, all these things. And, of course, the ankle, you wouldn't do nothing with that. But all these things affect
You're stopping.
Yeah, all that stuff affects how a quarterback, it's a rhythm thing. When you get in there, you kind of work through some things. And, when you feel comfortable of pushing off and throwing the ball from a calf injury or gripping the football and throwing it without having to change up mechanics, all that stuff, man, that plays a part in the productivity of quarterbacks.
It just makes you feel good, man, that
you got cinnamon buns.
You got, yeah, that's great. That you almost threw me off. But to see a coach that understands his player and for him allow the player to be what Dak is doing. I mean, a couple of years ago we wouldn't be, that many yards. We would be like, oh, that's too many. He'll need to throw like this. But the way they're doing it and sprinkling in this run, and we'll see more starting this game if it's real, about that run versus pass and how the situation is. But right now everybody's rolling, they're confident, and and Jesse will tell you, confidence, man. With confidence, you feel you can do anything. And I think we got this team early. They weren't confident in what they were doing. They weren't hyped about what they're doing. I think now this offense is hyped and confidence. Now if we can get past Seattle, now we'll really be rolling. And then, the sky's the limit with Philly, Buffalo, and whoever else, sky's the limit. I just think you got to be so confident in belief and so ready to go through any brick wall that stands up before you. I mean, this team has not, over the years, been able to handle adversity from teams that were equal or better talent. They have not been able to do that. And I hate to bring up the Eagles game because I'm about just what the Cowboys are doing, but I didn't even watch the game last night. I was the third quarter. I looked at the score. They was behind. I went to bed, woke up. Somebody, oh man, they lost. They won. I said, okay. I sat over there at the table, and I got 25 shouldas on why the Eagles should have lost. I said, you ever think that the Eagles can fight through adversity? Or you ever think that luck favors the prepared minds? Those who are successful have great preparation. You ever think about that right there? And they look. I said, bro, yeah. I said, I remember when we was playing, we had a lot of time with them. I would come home, and wife would say, boy, y'all got lucky. Yeah, we did. We sure did. But how much can I sell you Super Bowl tickets for? You know what I'm saying? Well, you ain't selling my ticket. Okay. That's what luck brings, Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
How's the offensive line been developing the last
They're
few
doing
games?
okay. Steele is playing with better technique. He's worked through some things now. The horses are coming this week with Seattle. They got, Leonard Williams and those guys and a few other guys. And so we'll see. I mean, each week you just get better. It's all about the confidence. If this team is confident now and they know how to play hard, just make sure we don't have those penalties, those old wicked penalties, a holding here, illegal formation, offsides, because, that's another team that is not playing with confidence. Seattle is not playing with confidence. Seattle team is better than their record. Their athletic skill is better than their record. Their record is what it is, but their athletic skill is better than their record. Just like the Chargers. I just think the Chargers are, over the top with athletic ability.
Yeah. I got a question, maybe this for after the break, but is this game against Seattle? We've been talking about how tough the schedule is going to be in December. Is it start now with Seattle, or is this kind of a good tune-up to the toughest part of the schedule?
Great question. Let's answer that when we come back on the final segment of Hanging with the Boys.
Calling me.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they make just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
James Wright here, your 2022 Dallas Cowboys fan of the year. You know how much I love my Cowboys, and I am thrilled to be talking to you about the 2023 Fan of the Year award presented by Captain Morgan. We're looking for the ultimate Cowboys fan to spice up the game. That means you eat, sleep, and breathe the Dallas Cowboys. If that's you, or if you know someone like me, then go to DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year, and you could win tickets to Super Bowl 58 and so much more. Enter today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the last segment of the People Show, Hanging with the Boy. Are we still the People Show, or has Nick got the People Show now because he takes so many calls?
No way.
Because we only get 2 calls a day, and it's my fault.
We're still the People Show.
Hung up. Okay.
We give the people what they want.
All right. Last segment is brought to you each and every day by Jigsaw, the official dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
And there's a reason why Nick always walks by here on Friday. Like, he's always looking for an opportunity to get on our show.
We should just pull the mic out on Fridays and just let him sit in on the show. On Fridays. No? He's got his own show? Okay.
He got his own show.
Okay.
Then we really won't be the People Show because we won't get a chance to get to the people.
Yeah, we don't do a good job. I think we've had one day where we got to a lot of calls. By the way, Pod Picks this week was just the score. And amongst our little group, Jazz was the closest. She was within 14 points. She had at 35-14. But overall, Brother Will was within 3 points of the final score out of everyone. Wow. So congratulations, Will. And we know how to get Will down here to say hi to us now.
Yeah.
Bring free food. Yeah. Good job, Will. Good job. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but there's a clip going around social media of all the holding plays on Micah Parsons. And I never blame the refs. I'll never blame the refs. I'm a firm believer. I'm like that in boxing. Knock them out. Don't leave it in the refs' hands. But if I was Micah, I would be so damn frustrated. There were like 6 or 7 plays where they have him around the neck, bending him backwards, and like no call. And it's just like,
one time the guy punched him right up in the chin.
Punched him in the face.
Ref was standing right there.
Looking at him. And it's like, how do these things not get called? Like,
you must have talked to your boy this weekend.
Who? Oh, yeah, he was on something else. He was already on to the Eagles in the Buffalo game. Like he was mad because they weren't calling anything on Philly. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can call holding on every play in the NFL, but like some of those are just almost ridiculous. Yeah. So, It's a good question you had earlier, Kurt, heading into the break. What was it again?
Well, we've been talking about December, how tough this schedule is. They're going to face Philly, Buffalo, Miami, Detroit all in a row. But they're starting now with Seattle. And is this Seattle game, is it a tough gauntlet now, or is this kind of a tune-up to kind of against better competition to prepare them for that tough stretch?
No, this is it. This starts now. Because I believe this game is on the road, correct?
No, we're home.
It's at home.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Home Seattle, home Philly, on the road Buffalo, Miami, and then home against Detroit, and then at Washington.
Oh, Seattle, you in trouble. You're in trouble, Seattle. You're in trouble. It starts now though, but this is the better of the competition of what they've been seeing the last couple of weeks. When you talk about Giants, when you talk about
Carolina, New York,
Washington, this is they'll beat Seattle, but this is going to be a game where there's a plethora of players in this game, both offensively and defensively for the Seahawks. Plus, their coaching. Pete Carroll always coaches a really good bunch of guys. So, this is the start of it. You got to start here. But I'm a little bit. I will say this is one of those games where the tail end of this 3 games in 12 days, right?
Yeah.
This is a team that is good enough. If you are not on your P's and Q's, this is a team that can beat you. I don't think they will, but I think about, guys a little bit tired, coming off the break. It's the tail end, looking forward to the mini bye, to Philly. This is one of those games where you're just kind of like, you could be wore out a little bit against a Seattle bunch. And this team will come in and they'll be right. They'll be right in the sense of wanting to pick you off, right? Because this is still a conference type situation. Because for the Cowboys, honestly, if we're going to be serious, we're fighting for our goal now is 5th seed, 5th seed. And the reason why I would say 5th seed, because the 5th seed will get the winner of the NFC South, right? So give me whoever, Atlanta or the Saints, give me that. I don't want to be the 6th seed. 6th seed mean we got to travel to Santa Clara.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we want that fight yet, Rocky. So yeah.
6th seed right now is going to Detroit.
Oh, Detroit. Okay. Well, I don't know if I want to go to Detroit either.
I'd rather go to Atlanta.
I'd rather go to Atlanta. I'd rather go to the
Orleans.
ATL or New Orleans, whoever it is. So I'd rather have that situation happen. And so this is going to be a very, very winnable game for the Cowboys. Very, very winnable game for the Cowboys. But don't just look past these guys as if they're just cinnamon buns.
God, he's so ready to go.
No, I just I'm listening to what Jesse's saying.
Are you?
Yes,
sir. Thinking about cinnamon buns?
No, I'm thinking about what you said. The Cowboys have no other choice but to win. Every time the Eagles win, we have to win. Bottom line. So you can have that NFC South game. Bottom line. You don't. You can't look at it no other way. You got to go through Seattle to get to Philly. And that's just the bottom line. Don't play with it. Don't mess around with it. I don't care if it's been 4 games in 8 days. You got to win the game. You don't have that luxury of we'll lose this one and we'll be ready for Philly. No, you can't lose this one or Philly. You got to win these games. You have to win these games. Ain't but one team in the whole NFL that's in the playoffs. That's Philly, who we thought collectively as a media bunch 4 weeks ago, they'll be they can all be 0-3. Not like they're finna be 3-0. Okay, yeah, the same team. Don't worry about the snake in the grass. Worry about your own. Yeah. My grandma used to say, bless her heart.
They're still. I mean.
No, quit with that wishing.
No,
You're going to start with that wishing.
I'm just saying.
There's still a lot of games left. It ain't a lot of games left. 3 weeks ago, it was a lot of games left. Today, it ain't a lot of games left.
The Cowboys, you can't afford to lose. I'm with you there. I mean, there is still a little bit of hope that Philly may trip up. You beat them. a couple other people beat them, and
we're going to beat them.
You wind up winning the division.
You really need some help from the 49ers this week.
We going to beat them. We going to beat them. We're going to beat this team here. Then we're going to take the minute break. We're going to crush Philly. Then Buffalo is Buffalo. So they'll explode on themselves. Just keep playing good ball. Don't have a lot of penalties. Buffalo will give it to you. They'll prove this year they've had 4 fourth-quarter leads and lost all the games. They will give it to you. Play hard, play smart, and you'll be all right.
Just hope it's not super cold, which that's stupid to even say that December 17th.
Well, it wasn't for me, Shannon, so I don't know how you
Oh, man.
Can we go early?
No, I want to be one of the people who help champion the flowers to be given more to DaRon Bland.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like we're not talking about enough of what DaRon Bland has done. Like I really, and this is organizationally. This ain't just a hanging with the boys thing. This is a Dallas Cowboys thing.
He has more defensive touchdowns than any other team.
Yeah.
Himself.
Yeah.
And you still have 6 games left.
I think coming into this weekend, there were only 13 NFL wide receivers that had more touchdowns with him.
13.
I did this for my other show, so I'll bring the stats for here.
Do it.
I went back and I looked up these stats. I took Kurt's job for a second.
Sure.
Because I was looking at this and I thought, man, like this is unheard of. For a dude to be in the second season, really 1.5 seasons, and to have 5 interceptions returned for a touchdown. And I went back and I looked, I said, let's put a historical context to this. And I went back and I said, what did primetime Deion Sanders have in his career? Mm-hmm. And in a 12-year NFL career, he had 9. I said, well, okay, well, what about Darrelle Revis? In an 11-year career, he had 3. I said, what about Charles Woodson? Right, all these guys have yellow jackets now. Mm-hmm. Charles, in an 18-year career, had 11. Ed Reed, in a 12-year career, had 7. DaRon Bland, in 11 games, has 5. Like, just take a moment and now I get it. This is much more of a passing league than what it was when Deion was in his prime and Charles Wood. In 11 games, these dudes, and these are guys, when Deion says there should be a different wing in the Hall of Fame, right? Like Ed Reed would be on the wing that Deion's talking about. Charles Woodson will probably be on the wing that Deion's Darrelle Revis is going to be on the wing that Deion is talking about, a different wing of the Hall of Fame. DaRon Bland in 11 game has 5 touchdowns for interceptions in a career that is 1.5 years old. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be on in that wing or even have a gold jacket or even be remembered as one of the great DBs of all time. Then I thought to myself, because now I'm like, he should be in the conversation of Defensive Player of the Year award. Mm-hmm. And now, like MVP, it's the Defensive Player of the Year award comes to one position, the defensive end. But in 2019, his running mate, dude across the way from him, Stephon Gilmore, won Defensive Player of the Year, right? I said, well, let's see what the numbers say. What did Stephon Gilmore do when he won Defensive Player of the Year award? Stephon Gilmore had 53 tackles. He had 20 PBUs, pass breakups. He had 6 interceptions, 2 taken back for touchdowns. In 11 games, DaRon Bland has, I think, 42 tackles. 36 of them might be solo. Right. He has 13 pass breakups. He has 7 interceptions and 5 of them back for touchdowns. If the season ended today, arguably a better numbers than what Stephon Gilmore had in 2019. How is this guy not in the, how is his name not being, I was about to say scrum amongst the screaming at the top of lungs of people who are talking about this is, and I get, if you ask me who was the better defensive player, I would say Micah Parsons, right? Mm-hmm. Overall. but it's the defensive player of the year. There's no defensive player that is having a better year than what DaRon, and he still has 5 games left with quarterbacks who may give him another opportunity to add on to that touchdown ledger and to the interception. Like if he ends this year with 9, 10 interceptions and he gets one more back for a touchdown, I mean, he's gonna do better numbers in tackles. He's gonna do better numbers in pass breakup in the next couple weeks. Geno Smith might give him a chance. Josh Allen might give him a chance. He may have it. And here's the thing. It's not even giving him a chance because when you look at his takeaways, they're takeaways. Mm-hmm. His turnovers, he's taking the football. Like, it's not like they're throwing lollipops to him.
Or tip passes.
No, he's like all hands going to get it takeaways. I just feel like as a whole, this dude is not, and this is not me having a pat on my back moment because of what I said earlier in the year, but I did say it. But boy, this dude, like, there needs to be billboards. There needs to be, and I know that he's not a guy who talks a lot or very loquacious or very boisterous in what he does, but boy, there needs to be a push behind this guy. See, this is why we need you in the social media department again. There needs to be a push behind DaRon Bland, man, like defensive player of the year. Sorry, Micah, but it seems like you're going to lose this award again. This is the award will go to your teammate, and he's going to be sick. Micah's going to be outwardly, he's going to be happy for his teammate. On the inside, he's going to be sick. He's like, I finished runner-up for the last 2 years in a row, and now the year I thought Myles Garrett is hurt. He might be out with some time with his shoulder. It's right for the picking. Unfortunately, the guy that plays along with you, he's picking everything off and taking it back for touchdowns.
The crazy part is the interceptions are, the number's crazy, but the 5 that he's returned for touchdown, that's insane.
Oh, by the
5 of the 7.
Oh, by the way, let's not forget this. In 11 games, he wasn't even starting. Right. Remember,
that's true.
The first couple games, he was just coming in as a nickelback. Mm-hmm. But the first 2 games,
nine starts.
His 9 starts. So he's doing. That's what I'm saying. Like he's doing
this.
Almost
an interception per start.
He's doing this, and he was a reserve to start the year before Trayvon hurt his knee in practice that lonely Thursday. I'm just saying we need to push. We need to push this DaRon Bland Defensive Player of the Year award thing.
Let's say it every show.
I'll say it.
Let's get him there.
Let's get it.
All right, let's let Nate go eat his cinnamon rolls. Mom, thanks for cooking them. Good
like
seeing
a sad
you, Nate.
Puppy dog over there, boy.
Jesse, good seeing you. Kurt, good seeing you, man. Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. Jazz, thanks for requesting the cinnamon rolls. Will, good seeing you. Who puts all of our stuff up?
Josh.
Yes. How did I forget that? Josh, thanks for keeping all our stuff up. We will be back tomorrow. No show Thursday because we have a game. Show tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday this week. So
tomorrow we're doing.
Let's do what's tomorrow? Tuesday.
Just do them all, right?
Let's do
both
it all.
Sides and take calls Wednesday, maybe.
There we go. Something like that.
That's
Tune in tomorrow. Find out what we do tomorrow on Hanging with the Boys.
We out.
See y'all.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!